Hello there, I am Assington, a master of nudges, and I am here to share some tips and tricks about the nudge. Such as how they work, how they stun, when they don't stun, and when they knock you on your ass. Nudges add much complexity to melee, allowing players greater survivability and utility in both duels and group fights. This simple guide is intended for anyone that wants to know with certainty how nudges work and how to use them. I will also elaborate on each individual instance where nudges can either knock down or stun. There are 3 types of nudges: the attack nudge, the regular nudge, and the block nudge. The attack nudge is the only type with the ability to stun. Both the regular nudge and attack nudge have knockdown moves. Both the regular nudge and attack nudge can also deal damage. This is based off of your strength and gauntlet weight, much like regular punches. The block nudge can send players hurling forward. The distance at which they are sent is based off of numerous factors, like your strength, your target's agility, and whether they are holding an attack or holding a block. Nudges have a cooldown timer of 4 seconds, which can be seen above your health bar. While your nudge is on cooldown, you cannot kick nor roll. This is very important to remember when making decisions on the battlefield. The attack nudge is performed by holding an attack and tapping your nudge key while facing a nearby opponent. This can only be done with a one-handed weapon, a shield, or a two-handed weapon, but only in the upward direction. This nudge is able to stun opponents long enough for a free hit if they happen to be holding an attack themselves. The next type of nudge is a regular nudge. This nudge strikes the quickest, meaning it is the best nudge to use to quick interrupt your opponent and recover to strike them yourself. It is performed by simply tapping your nudge key while facing a nearby enemy, and your weapon must be in at your side. The last type of nudge is the block nudge. It is performed by holding a block and nudging your target. However, two-handed weapons can only perform this nudge if they are being used in polearm mode. In order to avoid being hit after getting stunned by an attack nudge, you must perform a counter nudge. The counter nudge is done by using the quickest nudge, a regular nudge, to quickly bash your opponent before they can strike you. Some find this hard to do because of the inconsistent hitboxes of the nudge, but with practice it will become second nature. Another important aspect of a counter nudge is the recovery time reduction it gives you. If you counter nudge and miss, the animation can end faster than your otherwise stunned self would recover, allowing you to block even if you would have been hit. Due to nudges having cooldowns that affect both kicks and rolls, it is important to avoid using a counter nudge if it is unneeded. You can tell if you are stunned based off of how your character model reacts to the nudge. Your body lurches much longer and more intensely if you are stunned. It is best to try and learn these animations. Attack nudges only stun when an opponent is nudged while holding an attack, or when an opponent is throwing a kick, or even when an opponent has thrown a nudge of their own. Lastly, attack nudges also can stun an enemy whose player model is wincing after taking damage from a weapon. This can allow for your team to lay total waste to that normie. Nudges can knock opponent over in various scenarios. Opponents may still be able to roll away from you, and sometimes they can even block on the ground depending on various factors. You can knock an archer, crossbowman, or thrower over if they have their ranged weapon raised. And also this can be done with an attack nudge or regular nudge. You can knock over an opponent who has their weapon raised and is also walking backwards. This is powerful for handling long polearmers who love the trust-ski. You can also knock over an opponent who is either jumping or kicking. However, if they're kicking, it must be a regular nudge used. Otherwise it may result in a regular stun. However, these methods are advanced and should be used only if you are sure of your opponent's move. Otherwise, the difficult timing may result in you being kicked or hit by an opponent who has jumped over you while you are nudging. Another rarely known detail of nudges is the fact that the stun timer is based off of the target's armor weight and weapon proficiency. An opponent in light armor with an agility of 21 or higher with matching weapon proficiency will be nearly impossible to stun. Block nudges can be easily used in group fights to throw opponents away from you, giving you the opportunity to freely hit the teammates in the back. The best method I have devised by far for consistently landing attack nudge stuns and knockdowns during duels revolves around throwing long and obvious feints to tempt your opponent into switching block direction. Many players tap left mouse button to switch block directions, creating a small window in which they are technically holding an attack. It is during this window that you throw your attack nudge and get a stun. Sound cues are very important with this method of feinting, as they are the most obvious in suggesting you are changing your attack direction. Thank you for watching, and I hope you come to find nudges as fun and enjoyable as I. They add great depth to the mod as a whole, and increase the level of intricacy of melee, therefore increasing the level of competitiveness. I hope you learn to use them effectively and make cRPG a safer place for yourself. I would also like to thank Thrin, Pablo, Albus, Sickle, Sagittarius, and Kenyon for assisting me in this video. I would also like to thank Twinkle and Pollux for getting shit on in the spirit of your entertainment. Good day, and see you on the field of battle.